Today's video is going to be based on what the weapon does, what the weapon looks like, and overall the combos. And yes, there's going to be some similar combos, but what do they look like? And that'll improve their rating. Let's get into it. Guys, before we even get in here, make sure you do comment down below your favorite weapon and why do you like it so much. Now listen, I'm going to talk about multiple swords. If you're really good with that sword and you believe it's great or even broken, you're probably a great player with that sword. Now I'm talking in general of new players, average players in that area, or my level, which is whatever you want to call it. Listen, I'm going to say my opinion on these swords. Now, if you want to make your own tier list, I'll put it down in the description. Make sure you do drop a like though, because we can share this up and make sure a lot of people understand how swords go and the combos and what they look like. Don't just drop a dislike because I said your sword is good or average. Drop a like so we can spread this around and show some combos, not necessarily the tier list itself. All right, so the first thing that we're going to talk about, is these chakra claws. Now, these came out maybe a year ago, and they're just overall, they're meta right now. Everybody runs these, or the awesome knuckle knives, which we'll talk about just shortly about how ridiculous those are. But the chakra claws were the first thing that everybody's like, oh my goodness, these are broken. What are we gonna do about them? You can spam the triangle, you can do all the claw combos that you had on the other claws when it was meta. Overall, this is definitely broken. Red Swallow, I've talked about these before. I think they're average. Now the combos, listen, I know a lot of players that can do crazy combos with these. I'm one of them, but listen, they're average. Great players can make any sword good. Now, you got to think about this. If somebody picked these swords up right now, could they make them good? And overall, no, they have a cool design. Now, next up, we have the Valentine claws. Listen, if it's just me, I don't want to combo somebody up and have hearts come out. That's just me. They do have the same claw combos, but I just generally do not like the look of them. And if I don't like the look of them, I'm probably going to rate them lower, even though if they have the same combos, I rate something higher. So again, if you don't like that type of tier list, I'm going to link this tier list down in the description. You send me on Twitter exactly your tier list and I'll look at it too. That's fine. We can have different opinions and still be in the same community. It's okay. Next up, we have the Burning Sun gauntlets. A lot of people rock with these. I am not one of them. They do have an infinite, but it's so slow. A lot of people can just jump out of it. Again, a lot of people rock with these. I'm not one of them, but again, great players can make decent weapons great. Even bad weapons great. You know what I mean? Hand to hand. All right. So there's no like picture for hand to hand, so I figured a picture of a hand would suffice. Listen, a hand to hand combat, again, a lot of people can do the combos with these and stuff like that. I'm one of them as well, and I know a lot of people rock with the hand to hand. Again, they're pretty good, but they're not great. They're not broken. They're good. You got to be good to do good combos with the hand-to-hand. Next up, we have the most broken thing in all of Shinobi Striker. Awesome and knuckle knives need to be patched immediately. If I could do an SS or a triple S or quadruple S, I'd put awesome and knuckle knives right there. I've been combo locked by them. You've probably seen it on a video or two. Ahaha. And they need to be patched. It's ridiculous. They make really decent players look like gods. You know what I'm saying? And there's no real way to counter them. So again, they're probably even more broken than the chakra claws, but again, that's a different video for a different day. Listen, these iron knuckles, I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate how they look. I think they're stupid. I don't know anybody that uses brass knuckles in Shinobi Striker, except maybe if you're new. But listen, these are not great. They do have a decent triangle combo that you can do, but again, there's other options that will do more damage and better speed. Next up, we have the meta from season 1 and 2 here. This is the claws. Now claws, you're probably like, whoa, why is Valentine down there below average, but you got claws up there and good? Listen, there's nothing wrong with a basic claw because they have no animation. The combos are just too good not to keep up there in good or great. Next up, we have the boxing gloves. I'm gonna throw that in C, average, because they do have a decent combo and you can definitely infinite. You can actually infinite with the brass knuckles as well, but it's just not as pretty, you know what I mean? Next up, we just have the regular, you know, the dagger things. What do you call these? The dagger brass knuckles? I don't know. Listen, but I don't remember every single name of every single weapon, but listen, these are average. These are better than brass knuckles because they do a little bit more something. You know what I mean? They just feel like they do more and they look better. So we're gonna throw them in C. If you don't like that, next up is the bat claws. Now the bat claws kind of ugly, so we're gonna throw them in average. Again, we're doing this based on look. If they have the same combo, I'm looking how they look. And overall, these might look cool to you, but to me, those are booty butt cheeks on a stick. My God. Listen, next up we have the holiday night claws. Now these could be in great because I really like the animation. but there's other weapons that need to be engraved, and this is not one of them. The glow on these are pretty cool. They have the same combos, claws, and they have a different animation to them, so it's pretty nice. All right, next up we have a different chakra claw, and it is yellow. They have a different ground combo. These are the first chakra claws that came out, and everybody was like, oh my god, these are gonna replace the claws. They did for a little bit, and then they brought out, hey, heavy attack locks up, substitutions now on attackers. I'm like, bro, what is this? Anyways, these combos not too much different from the blue ones. Not gonna lie to you, I do not like the paddle in its design. I'm a big fan of the fan, but I'm not a fan of this paddle fan, whatever you want to call it. It has the same animations as the fan. We'll talk about that later, but we're gonna throw that in average. I do not like the design, but the combos for the fan are pretty good. All right, next up we have the smoking pipe. I'm gonna throw that in good. This has the same combos as the longsword and other weapons. Pretty much literally every defensive weapon literally spams the same move set, which is kind of aggravating because they all look different. But again, it's a different reskin of the same animations with other swords. Next up we have the adamantium staff, which again, you can get the last one from Jiraiya, you can get this one from Hiruzen. Some of these are going to be DLC weapons, some of these are going to actually be from the shop or NWL. But anyways, this staff is all right. Again, it has the same combos as the longsword. Not many people use it, but it's still the same combos. Next up, we have the Madara fan, which I'm going to go ahead and throw that in good. Now, these combos are a little weird. I don't really like this fan preferably. I like the regular fan, but again, a different time. Better than the paddle. It looks better than the paddle. Overall, it's pretty cool. This is a Madara DLC weapon, and overall, I like it a little bit more. Listen, this is the Obito weapon, and honestly, I'm going to throw it in below average. Now, listen, don't go to the comment section and be like, oh my god, HD2K doesn't know what he's talking about. Listen, this sword is ugly. It looks like a DNA strand, and it really doesn't do anything. I don't see anybody that's good running this sword, and we'll talk about the combos, which it follows later on, but this is more of a Samahata weapon, and it's just a reskin, and that's annoying. It doesn't have any effects to it. Next up, we have the Hashirama DLC weapon. This is the long sword for Hashirama. I love this blade. It has a cool sword animation to it, but it also has the long sword combos, which I actually do like. I think they're great combos, but I hate reskins of the same weapon, basically. This is the same animations. Overall, it's pretty good, and it's great. I love I love it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love it. It's not broken, though. You gotta take a little bit of skill to use it. So next up, we have the Zabuza DLC weapon, the Demon Hunter Blade. Now, listen, this weapon is kind of good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's pretty OP. The animation's beautiful. It does have the same long sword. It's ridiculous. Like, the glowing effect. It's cool. All right, next up, this glizzy thing. I think you're a weirdo if you use this, but I'm gonna throw it in below average because why do we have a chocolate glizzy with the same long sword combos? Kind of annoying that they keep putting out longsword animation weapons. Next up, we have them like a broom. Like, you're literally out here fighting with a broom. This has the same animations for the fan. I like the paddle a little bit better than the freaking broom, bro. Who's gonna beat my butt with a broom? All right, next up, we have the Mei DLC weapon. This is the twin blade, and it does some pretty cool combos, so I'm gonna throw it in good right now. It has way different combos, but you can still do that jump light combo that everybody loves with the longsword. Now, everybody loves the longsword, so I'm gonna throw it in good. It has the same animations. It's literally the staple for defense weapons, so we're gonna have to throw that in good if it's literally the staple and everybody copies it. Next up, everybody loves the Kage Master sword, and I'm gonna disappoint you. I'm gonna throw it in good because I really don't like its heavy attack. Overall, I think it's cool that it knocks people back. It's a different combination. It still has that jump light, and it still has the Kage Master was something different, a samurai weapon. Overall, I think it's good. I think it's kind of laggy in some sense. The ink brush, absolute terrible. I would put it in do not use. It's literally a long sword animation style, but it's literally a paintbrush. But if you like that type of stuff, go crazy. They gave it out for free. I'm sure they'll give it out for free again. Now, this weapon was I think it was a shop reward. Now, this weapon, you're probably thinking, hey, that weapon looks a lot like this weapon. Listen to me right now. This one has a different triangle. If you triangle, it'll do like a jump and then slam the weapon down, and then it explodes, kind of like the Seven Swordsman weapon. So it's basically just a bunch of paper bombs on it. It's literally a tandem paper bomb sword. That's all you got to think about it. And you can spam the triangle. You still have the same long sword animations. But again, I think it's really cool that you can throw that triangle out. And I think I may make a video about that. I think it's very underused. The most broken weapon for all of defense is the moon sword. You can sit there and triangle. The only thing knockback for this that doesn't have any knockbacks for the rest of the broken weapons is the utilization in combat. It's kind of trash unless you have swift step. It's really not that good to chase down healers, attack types, ranges. You're not going to be able to do too many combos with this. It's not going to attack that much. It doesn't have a lot of attack power, but that triangle spam is super good on base and flag. Next up is the moon sword Zero. I don't really like the combos for this one. I think the triangle is kind of trash. It literally just a boomerang boomerang effect, and the light attack is the only thing that makes this good. Overall, I think you can use your esoteric scrolls for something better, but if you really want a moon sword, this is the one that's probably going to be the most spammed in the shop. So I wouldn't waste scrolls on it. I think you'll be fine. It won't close the skill gap for you. So that's why it's in good, because it does have different combos and it has a different triangle, and it's literally not a longsword spam. Next up, we have another scientific ninja tool. Now this is the scythe. I kind of do like the scythe just based on the combos alone, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in average. I don't like the triangle. It's too slow. It literally is like you're spinning in air, and it does have the same combos as the longsword in different aspects. It's okay. Again, average is not bad. It's just basically, hey, I can pick this up and be average at it. It's not that hard to master, but it overall is not that good. Next up, I have another weapon I really don't like, and a lot of people do like it, but I'm gonna throw it in average as well. This is the Samahana seal. This has a weird triangle and it has a square, but it does have an infinite that a lot of people don't know about. I'm not gonna share it on this tier list, but I think a lot of other people know about it. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. Next up, we have its unsealed version, and again, I'm gonna throw it in average. It has average combos, average damage. The look is pretty cool though. I could throw it in good, but I'm not gonna do that, but just based on the combos alone, they're just too slow. Next up, we have the scythe. I'm actually gonna throw the scythe because I think it's better than Samahana. Now, don't go to the comment section talking about HD's trash. Don't know what he's talking about. Listen, you can spam the triangle so easily with this. You can do all the combos with the longsword as well, and it's faster, and you can do that beautiful, beautiful sidekick with this scythe. I kind of do like this a little bit more than most would. I think I'm a tad bit biased on it, but let me know what you down in the comments below think about the scythe, man. You guys are underrating the scythe, I'm telling you. All right, next up, we have the fan. Now, this is not your everyday fan. It's not gonna blow wind on you. Okay, listen, you do have the jump light combo with this, and you can actually spam it up a little bit with the triangle. I'm not too good with it, but I think you can do a lot of good things with this. Like, hey, if you want to do a great, I wouldn't be mad putting the fan in great, but for right now, we're gonna keep it in good. Next up, we're gonna have the Shibuki sword. I think that's what it's called, but this is basically just a replica of this sword right here, and I'm gonna throw it in below average. No, I'm joking. All right, this is gonna be an average just based on it has the same combos as the longsword and stuff like that. Overall, it's not really a great reskin of the longsword because it has the same animations. I just think the triangle, it just looks weird when you put it on your back. So I'm gonna keep it at average. Next up, we have the replica of the demon blade. Now I'm gonna throw this in good. It's a long-ranged weapon. It doesn't seem like range weapons affect much, but like a longer sword feels like it connects better. And that's just me. I'm gonna throw it in good because I like the look, I like the replica. And before we had this blade, that was my staple. Next up, we have the I can't even say that, but it's one of the mist swords. I'm gonna throw that in good. It has the same combos as a long sword. There's nothing too much about it, and I kind of do like the look of it on your back. It's pretty cool, and it looks good. Looks great. All right, next up, we have the Iron Claw weapon. This is the Mizukage replica weapon. Anyways, I'm gonna throw this in good because it has the same combos as the long sword, so I highly recommend you do check it out. The first healer weapon is going to be the Kimimaro Bone Sword. Now listen, I actually like the Kimimaro Bone Sword. Personally, it has the same combos as, I believe, the Kurosawa blade. I think that's how you say it. It's the famed blade, you know what I'm saying, the one below the longsword. Anyways, I think it's pretty decent. Overall, this is not a DLC weapon. You can get this from the Shinobi shop. At one point, it'll come back in the rotation. All right, next up, we have, I believe, the Itachi blade. That's what we're gonna call it. Itachi blade, I would love to put in great just based on the feathers that come out, but we're gonna throw it in good because it's literally the ninja sword. I don't think anything great about that. It does have some cool combos. Next up, we do have the Nine Tails blade. Now listen, I'm gonna actually throw this in great. Now listen, I just said no long, like ninja sword combination will be put in great, but I just lied to you. I capped. I apologize. Listen, this is literally a fire sword that you can take out of your back and start smacking people with. Next up, we do have the Sakura Naginata. Oh, I said that right. Wow. Okay, cool. All right, I would love to put this in broken, but it does have some slow combos, but the reach for healer is maximized with this blade. So I highly recommend that you do check it out. But if you don't, it's okay, but I'm gonna throw it in great for right now. Next up, we do have basically the same thing. It is the same combos, but different style. The umbrella, I'm gonna throw it in great. I really like those two blades together, or two items, whatever you want to call it, two weapons. This is a different sewing needle. This is one from the Seven Swordsmen, and I'm gonna throw it in good based on the triangle alone, where you throw your sword forward and then pull it back, and a needle or like a string comes back and you like yank it for extra damage. It's really like a 3-hit combo. Honestly, perfect. Chef kiss. Love it to death. I'm gonna throw it in good. I would love to put it in broken, but a lot of people don't put it in there. Okay, this umbrella, I'm not a big fan of it right now. It's kind of weird. It has some weird combos, but it is an umbrella, and I did put that umbrella up there, and it's basically the same combo. but again, I don't really like it. So I'm gonna put it in good, and that might be biased. Next up, we have the ninja sword, which the ninja sword is the staple for all weapons for healers. It's like the first blade you see. Next up, we have the famed blade Kurosawa. I put a video out on this, but I'm gonna say right now it's only good. It's not great because the combos are a little bit slow sometimes unless you have that attack speed boosted up. Next up, we have the frying pan. Hey, listen, the frying pan is one hell of a weapon. It has the same combos as a ninja sword, but the one thing that makes it so great is the sound effects. You're literally smacking somebody with a frying pan. A sound effect is the same as the frying pan. It's really beautiful. I love it. All right, this one's stupid. I don't think this is a good one, so I'm gonna put it in below average. It has the same combos as basically the ninja sword, which is a staple, but it's literally just a knife, and I don't think it looks cool on your back at all. This is the regular sewing needle, and I don't like it at all. I think the sewing needle combos need some work. This one could have had a lot of potential, but it's literally just stabbing you over and over again with a giant weapon. Anyways, it looks weird on your back, so I'm gonna put it in average. All right, so this is the Tobirama ninja sword. I used to love the animation on this, but I've kind of died down on it a little bit, so I'm gonna put it in good. It's the same combos as the ninja sword. I know, I'm sorry about the reskins. All right, so one show bottle. I'm not familiar with the combos too much. I've never really used it, so I'm gonna put it in average. It's kind of weird. Nobody, actually, I'm gonna put it in below average. Nobody really uses that. If you do, you're a weirdo. All right, so this is the Kakashi Anbu sword. Again, this has a really cool animation, just like the Itachi Anbu blade. Overall, you can't really tell the two apart, but they do have different animations. This is more of like electric thing, kind of like this is fire, but this is electric, but it doesn't look as cool. This is the demon flute, which again, you're gonna get this in shop. Stop spamming me with questions, okay? You're gonna get this in shop. I'm gonna put it in good. It has the same combos as a ninja sword. It has a glow to it. Overall, I kind of do like it. I don't really use it that much, but if you do use it, cool. I bet you make it look great. The flying Raijin. Let's go. I'm gonna put this in average. The look of it is beautiful, chef kiss. The combos of it, a little weird. I know for a fact, I know this for a fact, guys. Listen to me right now. I know this for a fact. These candy apples, weird concept. You're literally smacking people with candy, but I'm gonna throw it in average just based on them being candy. I don't think any ninja should be fighting anybody with some candy apples, my guys. If you're out here getting sticky icky with the candy apples, go crazy, go stupid, cuzzy. But it's just not for me today. The Sasuke Ninja Blade. Now, Sasuke Ninja Blade, we gotta throw it in great, right? It's a Kusanagi combo. It looks cool. It looks great. And, you know, if it has Sasuke's name on it, we're probably gonna rock with it. There's a lot of Uchiha diehards, and I'm one of them. Next up, we have the Kakashi dagger, which is pretty good. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. It has some pretty cool combos. You need to check that out. I may do another video on that. Honestly, there's not a lot of love on the Kakashi dagger, and I might have to be the one that shows the love to it. These blades could be in broken, but it's literally the same combos as, actually, I think they have some different combos. We're gonna throw that in great. There's not really a range weapon that's broken, so we're just gonna throw that in great just based on its two blades, and that's really the only time that you see that. All right, these holiday things, that's the first F. I think these are stupid. I don't care what combos they have. These are dumb. Who is using those? Holly Jolly right out of this video. No, I'm joking. Listen, why is the candy apples an average? I meant to put them, no, candy apples an F, bro. What was I thinking? Kiba ones that shoot out lightning, and these are weird, but they do have an interesting combo that I did once on accident. If somebody can tell me how I can do that spinning triangle attack with them, I would greatly appreciate it, because I tried to do it over and over again and I could not do it. So I'm gonna throw these in good just based on that lightning attack, and they're really cool with the animation. Next up, I lied to y'all. This one, we're gonna throw this range weapon in broken. Now, I don't necessarily like the light attack on this, but that triangle where that throws like fire daggers or whatever it is, now that's OP. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is an OP infinite, and I like to see that, and I'm gonna throw it in broken. I didn't think I was gonna lie to you, but I'm starting to think about this. It's either great or broken. I would say like an A+ are gonna be in below average. Their combos are weird, the triangle is weird. Overall, not messing with it too much. And if you rock with it, cool. This is size sword, I believe. Yeah, this is size sword. Don't really mess with the combos, but they do some decent things. Now, it doesn't have like an OP triangle, even though it looks almost identical to Shisui's katana. Now that I look at it, it's not Shisui's katana. Now, this is called the chakra dagger, and it looks almost identical to the Kakashi dagger, but it's a little, you know, smaller. It's not that big. I'm gonna throw this in C. It does have some cool combos, but I don't really like it that much. Combos are fine if you're good with it, cool, but I'm not. All right, these swords are a little weird. I'm gonna throw it in average. A lot of ranged weapons have weird combos and weird triangles. You gotta really have to spam triangle sometimes as a range, especially if you're doing weird things with like the flash pill. But I'm getting off track. They're okay. I don't really mess with them, but a lot of people rock with them. Not one of them. The original combo lock god, the Kusanagi blade. We're gonna have to throw it in. Great. Overall, just a great sword. I love it to death. You should love it. We should all love it. We should all praise the... All right, next up, we just have the regular Kiba swords. And honestly, I'm gonna put them in below average. They're not that cool. I don't like them at all. They ain't got no badges. And overall, you shouldn't use them. But I'm not gonna put it in F because they're not that bad. All right, so the spatula, go ahead and put that in do not use. That is the worst weapon in the Shinobi Striker history. I don't know what the world they're thinking about putting food items. What are we? Kushina Uzumaki. All right, next up we have these like dumpling things. Again, I don't know why you would use those. Do not use all the like there's useless range weapons left and right. Don't use it. There's no point. All right, next up, we have the famed Orochimaru sword. Again, this is a Kusanagi. Great combo. We're going to have to put that in. And I'm keeping that there as well because it has in animation a black flame. If you want the Orochimaru DLC, only get that one. Because that's literally, it's worth the money to grab this sword because it has that fire emoji, fire like animation. All right, guys, if you like my tier list, make sure you comment down below what you liked about it. Make sure you comment down your favorite weapon. Make sure you overall just comment. I like to talk to you guys, man. Make sure you do like and subscribe. I'm giving you a challenge. Can we hit 11K by my birthday? All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next.